Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store. And around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
It is said that Gay Brewer, upon driving up Magnolia Lane in 1968, pulled a hair from his head and calmly floated it out the window of his slow-moving Buick, just so he could say that the Augusta National Golf Club could have some of his DNA. And although the concept of DNA evidence would only be implemented years later, Gay's feelings have been shared by all who have had the privilege of playing their trade, or plying their trade, on the rolling emerald fairways of Augusta since Jesus was a little boy. This year was no exception, and as Adam Scott packs up his green jacket and places it next to his complimentary colored pants and shirts, among the hot pinks and canary yellows, we will wax nostalgic about another Masters gone by. We are sad, but we are grateful. Sad that we will not caress our friend with our eyes for another 11 months, but grateful that again the spirit of competition has blessed us with the comfort of knowing that we, the average, have had the special opportunity to glance briefly at the gods. It was Sam Snead who once said, "My loins are always tight.
What?
But when I'm at Augusta, they feel warmer, looser, free to explore. It's easy to look at the azalea-lined fairways and the flowering dogwoods and forget that this tournament is about men. Men who love golf and each other with a passion unequaled in the annals of romantic competition. We are all envious when we see this passion, for we wish in some small way we could taste the sweetness of the camaraderie, that we could touch the tanned forearms of the combatants, that we could smell the sweat that gathers at the base of the back, pooling before it begins its southern journey to regions heretofore untouched by the lowly patrons. In the 1700s, when Bobby Jones first set foot on this rolling plantation, he knew, as the special founding fathers did, that this was hallowed ground, a place for the special, the few, and the white, who would gather in the coming years to celebrate their exclusivity and reflect on their perches above us, the great unwashed. In the words of the great explorer Pinocles, we are the masters. We make the rules. We get the really good stuff. So, as Butler Cabin is vacuumed once again, and the hairs of the champions party are swept into the yard, we pause and reflect on our own mortality. For we will someday be food for the worms, but Augusta will endure. Like a piece of non-biodegradable plastic, she will linger through the centuries, and she will endure with her traditions intact. Traditions unlike any other. Traditions that have stood the test of time, like the statue of Robert E. Lee. While other venues have watered down their traditions with inclusion and accessibility, Augusta has remained defiant and backward. Through the decades, choosing to exclude rather than bend. As Hootie Johnson said as he quoted the Grand Wizard Clifford Davis, once we allow a few of them to feel like they belong, then they will come in a giant horde, spoiling what is rightfully ours. And that, at least at Augusta, will not happen.
Right.
And perhaps that is why, from the Eisenhower Pine to the Saracen Bridge, from Ray's Creek to the Crow's Nest, from Founders Circle to Ike's Pond, from the Arnold Palmer Plaque to the Hogan Bridge, from the prestigious Magnolia Lane to Caucasian Terrace, from Amen Corner to the Wall of the Confederates, from T. Boone Pickens Commode to the Warren Buffett ATM, Augusta is, and always will be, theirs. And we the dumb will stand in awe of them, not just the players, but the men who have built Augusta into what it is. Men with names like Billy and Hootie and Clifford. Protestants all, who have stood watch over the servants for these many decades to ensure that the membership has what it needs to entertain their guests, but more importantly, to show the underlings who the real bosses are, and don't you forget it. So we bid farewell to Augusta this 2013, and we return to our America, an America that is a bit less special, an America outside of the Augusta gates that somehow feels weaker, more watered down, an America more foreign. But fear not, In a year we will return, we will wash off the filth of the different and bathe in the pure springs of Augusta National as another tournament will show us how it really should be. We will gasp at the greatness of athletic skill and marvel at the special people that have gotten more special-ler. We will wash hope and pray that somehow, someday, the gods will touch our lives in such a way as to allow us to be part of such a prestigious institution. We can hope that we could walk the halls and have our own cocktails made just for us and have our shoes shine to a brilliant sparkle while we read the morning newspaper reflecting on how special we really are and how much better we are than you. For although it ain't ever going to happen, we are totally SOL, and that's why lotteries were invented. That is why Americans will flock back to their televisions next April to kneel at the altar of the green jacket, the shrine to privilege in America, the exclusive temple of golf, and the Fortune 500, the almost totally white and male home of the I'm in, you're not, don't you wish you were me, step away from my car, a-hole, Augusta National, home of the Masters.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
What's the matter now?
No, I got this. My ears are filling up. I got this sinus condition. It's the change in temperature. I always get it from air conditioning.
Maybe it'll go away.
No, it's all part of my allergies. I get them in the summer.
Only in the summer?
And in the winter, too. I get them all year long. Allergic to foods. And pillows and curtains and perfumes. Can you imagine that? Allergic to perfumes? That used to drive Frances crazy. For a while, she couldn't wear anything except my aftershave lotion. I was impossible to live with.
Stop that, will you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to clear up my ears. You create a pressure inside your head. It opens up the eustachian tube.
Did it open up?
I think I strained my throat.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic radio district of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times, powered by Encore Insurance, and we're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Monday, April 15, 2013. It's tax day.
Hey, it's tax day, Mike.
Tax day. Our show today brought to you by Vistaprint.com/TMOS. We've told you before, Vistaprint can do almost anything. That now includes personalized iPhone cases. Now it's easy to design an iPhone case for every part of your life and your company and your team and your family, everything, or just a personal message if you want to put something out there.
I have a gift for you.
You do?
Oh,
I do.
a gift.
You do?
Gifts.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
What do it say?
It says the Mike
Very
O'Mara
nice.
Show.
Oh, you
on
know
it.
he wanted one that said #1 Red Sox fan.
With the Red Sox logo. There's an
That's
example of
awesome.
one. Did you do one yourself?
case.
I did this, yes.
Oh,
That's right.
wow.
Yeah.
And Mark went to now, how much did this set you back?
$10.
$10.
Yeah.
That's right.
You will go into any of the stores that sell these and spend $30 for something that's like hot pink.
Higher.
$40.
Higher than, yeah,
Yes.
$40 sometimes.
Go to
Lucky.
Vistaprint. They start at just $19.99. That is a good investment for your business.
Started at $9.99.
$9.99.
Change back on a 10.
And prospective clients will notice.
Yes, they will.
Hey, who are you calling? Let me make this call.
And Mike, you know what I like
There
about
we
this
go.
is that we have the design in a landscape.
Right.
And so this way, you'll know to hold the camera the right way when you're taking a picture.
Brilliant.
That's our pet peeve.
Unless you put
Didn't
it
we have
on.
a couple of people do that to us Thursday night?
Yes, we did.
And it drives Mark and I nuts when somebody takes the camera
Vertically.
and they say, "Let me get a picture." No, that's the way you roll
That's
it.
landscape, yeah.
Did they print it the right way so it's right side up, Mike O'Mara?
Yes, it is,
Excellent.
yes.
Good.
Excellent.
Good
It's
work,
a
Mark.
good investment in your business. Vistaprint, small business's best friend, offering quality and affordability for marketing and printing. We use them. All iPhone cases are 50% off for TMOS listeners. And if you order tops $30, the shipping is free and satisfaction always guaranteed. Just go to Vistaprint.com//
Very important.
TMOS.
Your favorite guitar
Yeah.
player.
God, what a night I had. I was so hungover Friday, couldn't make the show.
Look at you.
I pulled a bait and switch with the guys. I said, I don't want to talk about Friday. I pulled a complete bait and switch. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the personal day. Took a personal day on Friday.
I appreciate it. It was my allergies.
It's not because I was hungover. It is because I could not find where I was. I didn't know what city I was in.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. No, none of that happened.
like the old days.
It was just
Were you in a Roy Rogers parking lot?
Where am I? We had a scheduled day on Friday, but that didn't prevent Mark and I from going out on Thursday and enjoying the
What?
company, not the company,
The company?
the company of friends,
Uh-huh.
I understand.
and also enjoying a little hockey.
Yes.
And because the buddy of mine who had the tickets had special access to down below the venue,
Nice.
we were in the special world.
Yeah, the
for a
Coaches
while.
Club, I think, is what it was called.
I thought it was the Doers Club.
No, I think it was maybe it was both. The Coaches Doers Club.
Sounds like it might be the Canadian club.
You didn't remember where it was?
well,
I know they had food and drink, and it was
Yeah.
FREE free.
I think it was called the
Downstairs?
Coaches Club.
Yes,
yeah,
downstairs.
Where the
downstairs.
players' families are?
I don't know if there were players'
It's really
families.
nice. It's like,
there
it's
were
like a hotel lounge.
Yes.
There,
Yeah,
there
it would
were
be the Coaches.
celebrities.
And of course, Oscar knows it.
Yes.
there were celebrities.
Besides
there.
Mike O'Mara.
Yes.
Really?
I was so
Who was
slugged
there?
out. I was wearing. You know what I was wearing?
What?
I love our merchandise, and we're going to have an announcement about our brand new merchandise that we're going to have for you.
This
but I will
just
tell
in,
you-
Mike O'Mara loves our merchandise.
I do.
Yes, he
I
does.
do. But you know what? The Dick Queasy T-shirt.
Yes.
Is an item that I believe should be worn in casual company or
Yeah.
perhaps adorned with a jacket or
Yes.
something. The Dick Queasy T-shirt on me,
Yeah.
a fat man, as the primary T-shirt of record is just not a good look.
No,
main
I
garment.
disagree with you. I thought you looked great, and the problem was that you weren't.
That man is lying.
You weren't rocking the red.
I know because
Yeah.
because
You
Yes,
usually
Mike.
do.
I bought a brand new Washington Capitals T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I bought it in a large size.
Yes.
And
Not
I-
size L.
I have gotten slightly smaller.
Yeah.
Good.
And I bought this when I first came back from Florida,
Right.
and I tried it on. And this is an unusual experience for me. When I put something on and it resembles a nightshirt.
Caftan.
Now,
Nighty,
Mark's
maybe?
brother and musical genius Eric Ronick is
Yes.
here.
Hey, Eric is here.
Well,
Thanks for having me, guys.
I really wish I knew where that T-shirt was because I would love to have you try this.
Oh,
on.
I'd
God.
love to try it on.
Because
That'd be
this
like a duvet
seriously,
on him.
if it was, you'd be
Would it-
lost.
Would it be ankle length on there?
Well, I'll put it on, but only if I can wear nothing else.
Oh.
Now you know Mike's play. That's how he's landed many of his wives.
We'll get to you in a second, more talented brother. But
So
Mark-
the shirt was not suitable for wear?
yeah, and I just
What if
couldn't-
you had tucked it in?
No way.
No.
Really not
It
even
was
then?
it was so massive that I could. So I throw on my Dick Queasy T-shirt and
Right.
off I go.
And that's like fitted. That looks beautiful.
And stop it. And I went downtown
Tailored
and waited
everything.
for my pals, including Mark,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a slightly early start.
Can you give us a ballpark?
I got there at about 4:45.
Okay.
And all
At,
my
at
all
Rosa Mexicana, one of my favorite places downtown.
my drive into DC, I kept getting texts from Mike telling me things like, "I'm lonely. I hate being here by myself."
So
do.
they weren't bitchy texts, they were sad texts.
They were sad texts. I
Did you
said,
have the guacamole prepared table side? That's
Nope.
like having a
Nope,
friend.
didn't, guacamole didn't touch my lips.
that's
good
good.
stuff.
No, sir. Just
Probably
waited
should
for
have.
I waited for my pals.
Mm-hmm.
Mark arrived. My pals arrived about the same time.
Yeah.
And they informed us we got the special club. It's all free food and drinks. So we're out there, and it's just like very exciting. We we decided get out of Dodge. Let's go right across the street. And then the fun began.
What
It did.
Then the fun began.
Well, had the fun already begun a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How much fun? Like 3 funs?
He was in about
Fun
stage,
times 3.
Mike stage 1.
Okay.
When he's drinking. So
That's-
very happy.
And I think that might
happy
be
times.
my favorite Mike.
And I
Yeah.
never really got out of that stage, did I?
Not while I was there. No.
And I never.
There was no turn?
There was no turn.
No.
Excellent.
I was with a bunch of guys that I love being with, and so who were they? Well, I'm not telling.
What
That's the way that
celebrities
goes.
were there?
In the special secret chamber
Super
of
double secret.
Washington Capitals fans.
And you say
Downstairs.
downstairs is it like in a basement? Is it
Yeah.
under the ice?
Yes, it's down on ice level. It's down. And
Oh,
it's down
okay.
in the bowels of the building. And there was a television celebrity, and there was a political celebrity.
That's
Very
right.
nice.
Now, the political celebrity you probably don't remember. He's a local guy. So, but he has been most recently, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, he was featured on the Bill Maher show and Real Time with Bill Maher.
yes.
And the other celebrity, everybody knows who he is.
And I think it's exciting for you, Mike, regarding this television celebrity. It was the last time Jonathan Winters was seen in public.
No.
And you got a chance to spend some time with him. He loves hockey.
It was special, and incidentally, we have to get to Oscar in China.
We do.
He's back
Here all
from
week.
China.
Oscar's
No
back.
worries.
Plus, let me get
Boo.
because the only thing that really happened of note, not
That's
only
what I said when I woke up this morning.
not only did we have a wonderful, tearful reunion with all the interns,
Yes.
including Girl, Zoolander, and Jabari.
Wow.
He's a dazzling
Nice.
urbanite.
But they're all working, and
Yes.
and they're all and so they were out there, and they left very early.
They did. They
But-
left before any of us.
I think I would be safe to say that when we bumped into this television celebrity, I was well into stage 2.
Yes, you definitely
And
were. You were
what's-
very excited.
Maybe fun times 7.
Stage 2 allows you to lose your inhibitions,
Yes.
and holler out to a famous person.
That's
Yes.
right.
Because I think at some point
It empowers you.
Friendly.
I think at some point, maybe 20 years ago, I interviewed him.
Yeah, okay.
When
Right.
you get to be my
Right.
age, and I have interviewed a lot of
inevitable.
Well,
people.
Mike, you've interviewed everybody.
I've interviewed a lot of people, and so
We were standing, enjoying our meals, and all of a sudden I saw this.
do you
celebrity.
have the theme to this?
I do.
show?
Of course he
okay.
does.
And so, walking through,
Tell me
the,
when you'd like
the
it.
Doers Club is none other than Pat Sajak.
So I spotted him. I
Nice.
saw him there, and it took me a second. I'm like, I know this guy, and then I realized it. And the next thing I knew, though,
Mark immediately told. Did you tell me?
no, you just all of a sudden beelined to him. I mean, it was just you dropped all your stuff.
I
And,
thought I yelled.
no, you went right to him and yelling to him as you were walking
As
up
you-
there.
as you
Hey,
charged
Pat!
him.
Yeah.
You charged him.
Pat!
You did. Yeah.
Is he short in real life?
Like a rhinoceros. You
Wheel of
charged
Fortune
him.
guy.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Oh,
say
my
that.
God.
No, I said, "Hey, Pat," and I walked up to Pat, and I
And he
said,
gave you the blank stare.
"Yeah, he didn't know who I was. Didn't know who I was even after
Didn't
I explained who
seem
I was."
afraid.
He's a legendarily nice guy.
I said,
Yes.
"Hey, Pat, how you doing? About 25 years ago, I interviewed you. you remember? When I didn't know, it was not like that. I said, Pat, you remember probably 150 years ago? That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
I did make the joke.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
I interviewed you about 150 years ago. He said, well, we're both at that age. I said, yeah, and I really at that moment, because of the fact that I was feeling very happy,
Yeah.
I pulled off the comment, which would be, well, you more than I, my friend.
Wow. And is that when he said, I'd like to solve the puzzle, please? Security!
Yeah, well, it did seem like he wanted to get out of that
Yeah.
conversation as soon as
He was
possible.
afraid.
And I honored that. I
You
didn't
did.
linger because I was not at such a stage where I didn't know that he didn't recognize me.
Right.
But I felt like I knew it would be. I always know it's going to be a good story.
Yeah.
And it's not a good story when I tell listeners if you see a celebrity. You make contact because
You have
otherwise
to.
you don't get a story.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and not do it myself.
Excellent.
Was he eating?
Especially if I've had a couple of beers.
Was Sajak eating or drinking?
He was in line waiting to get some
He was
food.
going to get some food.
Oh, so you didn't really interrupt it. I think it was lost time for him
mean
anyway.
He was walking
Sajak
through the
needs to
room.
wait online?
He was walking through the room, and he's a waif-like little guy.
Oh
Is he
my-
short?
I was surprised
So tiny.
how
Small.
tiny he is.
But-
He doesn't look that way on the show.
Does he live up to the Merv Griffin thing that people with big heads look good on TV? Does he have
Yes.
a big head?
Big
Huge
head,
head.
small
And
Yes.
you know,
body.
Vanna has a big head too.
He's all head.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
The best, the most famous TV
That's what the
people
ladies
are.
say.
He was all head.
Who was he there with?
I think maybe his daughter.
Maybe. I didn't
granddaughter?
see him with anybody.
He
Of
was.
course,
I
when
thought he
you're,
was.
talking about, when you're talking about TV people, that could be there.
Could be, yes.
He wasn't there with Jim Lang or Alan Ludden.
No, Vanna wasn't there.
I was hoping she'd be
That's
there.
too bad.
So he gave me the deer in the headlights kind
Yes,
of.
he did.
you
He
know,
sure did.
But he, down there, I think is everybody goes walking around without really being noticed that much, and nobody bothers anybody else.
Except for
Right.
you.
It's understood.
Or the
Mike.
show. I
Are you
respect
gonna-
that.
Yeah, man.
Are you going to mention
Here we go.
how you got a big rise out of everybody in the bathroom down there?
Yeah, we can mention that. We can mention.
Will this be a
This-
full-on mention or a
This is
passing
between the
mention?
second. This is between the first and second
First
period.
and second. While Mike and I are sitting there watching the game, and it's winding down. The
Hold
end
on,
of the
let me
first
start.
period.
I know you want to immediately throw me under
I'm
the bus.
so excited.
But hold on. We go down, and the fare, part of the fare that they had during the spread was fajita meat.
That's right.
And I didn't eat the carbohydrates, but I ate the fajita meat. I think I made a comment to you
You did.
as we were walking up into the section. I said, "This is not going to sit well."
No.
Disagreed with you?
This is not going to sit
He knew
well at all.
before it disagreed with him.
Sour
that it was going
stomach?
I
to.
knew before.
Wow.
No, and then we're coming back downstairs between the first and second period, and I think I made a comment. I literally think I need to sit and not stand.
Oh,
Right.
big potty.
And the good news, we have this exclusive little club, so you're not going to be with all the great unwashed.
Right.
Yeah, no windows, closed quarters.
And guess what, Mike? Nothing you've said so far is good news.
And there we get down to the special bathroom, and of course, there's a line.
Yeah.
And I say, this is not
Is
working.
it full of game show hosts?
And it's everybody waiting to use the urinals.
Wink Martindale.
yeah.
And I'm feeling like I have the necessity for a stall.
Fecal urgency.
And I really felt, but I'll tell you this. I have my wits about me enough to know it's an either-or proposition. Meaning it could go either way. It could be paid a
Well,
dime and only, or
Yeah.
or it
Still,
could be.
you want to be on the
But
safe side.
of course you will,
Yes.
because my God,
You
I
have
mean,
to
if
be.
you err on the side of if you're incorrect, this is not an
Horrible.
equation that you can be wrong about.
That's right.
Talk about sale of the century.
So
There's no margin of error.
I go up to, I see they're waiting, and nobody's coming out of this one stall. And I lean over and I look down and I see no feet. There's no one in the stall.
Excellent.
But the stall is locked.
Oh, the cruelest.
And then a buddy that I'm with, who happens to be a rather tall individual.
Yes.
You're outside this
I was
whole
waiting
time.
for you guys. The three of you went in.
And you're
Surprised
outside.
you weren't in there with a tape recorder.
No, I know. I should have.
And he reaches over. I said, "Man, I wish I was tall like that." And opens the stall door. I walk in, and then I see why the stall door was closed.
Crime scene.
Oh, beyond! It just astonishes me in a public venue,
Mr. Sajak. What have you done?
How people can do
The
this.
animals.
You know why he's so
It
small.
was so. I said, "John, is there? Oops, sorry. Can you lock it again?" And no, we just close it, and I moved down to the other stall.
Oh,
which-
there's two stalls.
There are two stalls.
Thank
goodness.
God.
and the other one is quite pristine.
Of course.
Excellent.
And however, I would be lying if I said at this point, evacuation is a key in whatever way, and it was not. Fortunately, any significant of anything other than air. But the air. Let me explain this to you. The air was.
I'm waiting outside of the bathroom, and the next thing I know, because
This
I
is
know
seriously what it sounds like.
Mike tells me that it's time. I got to get in there.
situation.
Right.
So I'm waiting out there, and within minutes, I just hear
All he hears is this.
Oh,
Children
and
running for
everyone
their
runs
lives.
out. He cleared the bathroom.
Screaming.
They didn't run out.
What I love is
Some
that you
people
did
did.
this, and the most.
Some people ran
I saw.
out.
Well, I
You're
saw people.
exaggerating.
I saw people quickly running out, laughing
ran out,
hysterically with one
liars.
another.
Oh,
Welcome to the most exclusive part of Verizon Center.
All I know, I went in there to the
Jesus.
Doers Club, and it was like this. And I went, "Thank you."
Did you suddenly feel perfect?
That was
fine.
it.
Sure.
That's it.
That's all it was, and I was actually stunned because the way
So was the crowd.
because the way that it was presenting in my lower
Yeah, it could have been anything.
regions
Yeah.
was in such a way that I thought, oh my God, I'm
Might have to go home early.
I thought I could be there for 45 minutes.
Now, did the
Missed the end of the hockey game.
fajita meat.
And so fajita meat.
Did any of the
How was the fajita meat?
did they have to re-Zamboni the ice?
Yeah.
Based on meltage?
There was some melting.
You were very close to the ice.
So everything was fine. Everything was good. I got out of there, and then I saw the political luminary.
That's right.
Which is Congressman Tom Davis.
Oh, I have his music too.
Of the great state of Virginia.
Tom Davis.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, Tom! Oh, boy.
He
All
was
right.
very excited to see you.
He
You
took
got
me
a
to
good
the
response.
Had he heard about the bathroom?
I dined with him in the congressional dining room.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I one-on-one. I remember it was the first time I'd ever been in the dining room of the United States Congress, and he's a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and we had a very nice din-din, and we had participated in a couple of Nokesville Day. It's a local Virginia town.
Right.
And they had, when American Idol first started, they had the Nokesville Idol contest.
Oh, okay.
And they got real people to judge it, including Congressman Davis and myself.
Yourself, yeah.
And we did it 2 years in a row.
Wow.
Cool.
With my friend Jim Hobbs, who
Oh,
did
wow.
that.
Yeah.
And so he mentioned that. But that's where these politicos. I mean, he meets. How many more people does this man meet?
This
than
is
I do?
what they do.
Yeah, but you're his favorite podcaster.
No, but he remembered exactly the circumstances. I would never be that good
Do
at
you
my
think
job.
that-
That's why he's a politician.
That's
right.
probably
That's
one
right.
of the hardest skills of the job. Is
Right.
not only to remember names and faces, but events.
has to have mad skills.
He does. Does he have large talons?
Talons. I watched that again last night.
My kids watched it this
My
weekend.
500th time.
But
Yeah.
he really knew you right out of the chute. Did you have to identify yourself?
No, what I said to him was, Congressman Davis, La Fonda is the best thing that's ever happened to me. No, I shook hands with him, and I gave him my name, and he knew right away.
Cool.
And you know that's true.
That's absolutely true.
He was not trying to run away from
No,
me.
not at all. He was very happy to see you.
One of the few.
And then, and then the rest of the evening was a reunion with the interns.
Yes, we had a good time.
And then Mark went home, and I didn't. And that's all you're going to hear.
Oh, I see.
end.
Sorry about that. We will come back and talk to Oscar about China. We'll talk to Eric Ronick about his music and more fun and more thrills. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be right back, everybody.
For one heart to carry on.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment is brought to you by
Encore!
Insurance Services, LLC, the people who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 WTNT. Even if you already have life insurance, you might be paying too much. Encore may be able to help you just as they helped Oscar Santana. Didn't need to use it.
You need to cash it in.
Didn't need to cash it
I know
in.
a lot of people are disappointed.
Yep. Shannon's just quietly sobbing today. Going,
Ah.
he made it back safely.
Oh, I don't know. She still might have altered his OJ this morning.
For a free quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They'll compare rates to help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know that you appreciate them as much as we do. Encore Insurance Services.
Encore!
So, let's get right to it. He's
Please.
back, ladies and gentlemen, from the great Far East. And you really don't look... I expected gray Oscar today.
Yeah, and we've seen that before.
He looks almost tanned and
I
rested
agree.
and ready to
Yeah.
go.
I'm excited to be back.
I
Ni hao.
disagree. I
Ni hao.
disagree. You know what he looks? He looks wide-eyed and confused. But
Really?
he looks alert, but
Right.
it looks like he doesn't quite know where he is.
A trip of a lifetime, gentlemen.
I
A trip of
thought
a
it
lifetime.
was.
Unlike any other.
No, it really was. If you've never been to Asia, you should consider going because it is a different world, and it's also culturally just it's so impressionable as far as what you get out of it.
So it's impressionable, so they remember you?
No. I mean,
It's impressive.
You mean it's impressive?
It's impressive.
It makes a great impression?
No, it makes an impression on your... Like, even today, I think about all the things we looked at. It's
So
just-
you can go to Hong Kong
Yes.
and say something, and that will really influence the people? They're very
That's what he said.
impressionable?
That's what he said.
No, I
It's
think
not what he meant,
it goes
though.
vice versa.
Okay. Now I'm confused. You're going to have to
should be.
start again.
All I know, Mike...
It's a wonderful place to be.
No, it's not a wonderful place to be. It's a fabulous place
It's
to go
an
to.
awe-inspiring
Yes,
place.
an awe-inspiring
It's
place.
like nothing you've ever seen.
It's like nothing I've ever seen.
It's almost like you were there.
Have you ever,
Thank you.
Eric, have you ever taken a band over to that part of the world?
Yeah. I did I think the only show I played was in Singapore, but
That's
yeah.
far enough.
Yeah,
that
far
counts.
enough. Yeah.
Just as interesting, I'm sure. A big thank you to our friends at United Airlines, exclusively
Oh.
our friend Mitch, who listens to the Mike O'Mara Show. I have never been
Oscar.
I've never been treated like I've been in first class when I wasn't. And
Mitch
Todd,
was very impressionable.
and Todd and I had the customer service of a lifetime, both going there and coming back.
Would you like another parfait, Oscar?
I have to tell you, it was
There are cookies
awesome.
left over in first class.
Awesome.
If you'd like a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie, I can
So
bring
you
one
have
back.
a male flight attendant that you befriended on the way over there?
No,
or
no.
on the way home?
No, even before we
both
left.
ways.
He
Really?
set it up before
Oh,
we
this
went.
is a buddy. This is a buddy.
This is a
that took it.
listener of the show.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I've never met him in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you know what? My sister-in-law has worked for United for 20 years. They still treat me like garbage.
You don't get any.
Not a thing.
You don't get dick.
Now, Carrie might be going to Paris for like 2 days on a buddy pass at the end of the month.
That's something.
That's something.
Who
but
does she know there?
What about me?
Have you ever been upgraded because of your relationship with your sister-in-law?
No, I've been upgraded because of my relationship with people on the show, and that's
Wow.
the only time.
Yeah.
But I want to say hi to Michelle.
Okay, so you got a buddy that. Now, what did he get for you? He didn't get you upgraded to first class.
He got us upgrades. We didn't take them because they weren't together. Because we were Todd and I were working for the majority of the actual
Nobody on
trip.
this show would ever have to worry about that problem.
Tell me about it. I've asked to be Mike. How many times have you been asked to be transferred away from me?
Mr. O'Mara, we have an upgrade for you, but unfortunately your cohorts are not going to be able to join you. And I'm like, oh, really? That's okay. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, we could have done it. I said you can go, no problem. But we
What
just
if
stuck
you
together.
did you think about the possibility of taking the upgrades and then asking to change once you were on the plane?
No, it wasn't.
'Cause that I would
we got
change
asked
for
to
you.
upgrade before the plane, while on the plane. They were just so over the top.
Just
kind.
remember, he's tired and he's jet lagged, so we're
Yeah.
going to get, he's got to cover his ass. He's telling his story the way he has to tell
I
it.
Weaving a
Thank you.
tail.
He's very impressionable.
He's Oscaring us. Okay?
So,
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Say no more.
we got everything we wanted.
As always.
If we could ever dream of first class Sundays without even asking for
For
them. They
sure.
brought them to us.
Gotta have ice
Liquor. It was such a setup. I'll never experience that again in my life.
Did you get your travels to to Beijing?
Yes, and we're coming back to the States
On the way out, which was more of a festive journey? The way out or
the way in,
back?
the way in,
The way home?
the way out to Beijing.
Okay, so
Yes.
you guys kind of mostly slept on the way home, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Simply because we're
exhausted.
exhausted.
That's
yeah.
smart.
Well, also the ice cream made him sleepy. All of the Sundays they kept bringing.
How many
him.
hours are you in that plane total?
The total trip I think was 23 hours.
Wow. 23 hours in the plane?
Well, in the plane you have 14 coming back.
Okay.
And then we flew 4 hours from Hong Kong to Beijing. So a total of 17 plus. And then
Welcome to hell. My brother-in-law used to do it all the time. I'm
I-
going
no,
to ask him about
3
it. I don't
days
know.
in the air, basically.
not as bad as
Was
you
that when
think
he
it
was
would
in
be.
the sex trades?
Yes.
Go-
Yeah, I
going
thought
there
so.
is
White
much
slavery.
worse. Much worse going there. Mm-hmm. As far
Because
as
of
jet lag is
because of
concerned.
the way the Earth runs, right?
Yes.
But coming back, did you feel refreshed?
You mean the way the Earth runs?
I mean, because of the time
We're
change
12
going
hours
that
ahead
way.
there.
You will experience greater jet lag because of the way the Earth runs.
Time traveling.
Beijing is very impressionable.
Really?
It is.
I can't give it too much ass.
So when last we checked with
impressive.
you had just gotten to Hong Kong.
Yes.
And you were going out to a conference that day. Did you experience the
Nightlife?
the amazing
Culture?
food, nightlife, culture of that incredible city known as Hong Kong?
If you are single or you want to cheat on your wife or husband, I imagine, go to Hong Kong.
Really?
Because they have the highest concentration of most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life.
Real? Did you get any pictures of them?
We have some pictures, yes.
I'd love to see some pictures.
And I will say that every woman there seems to be, or doesn't even realize, much like I used to talk about Scottsdale,
Right.
that they are so pretty, and they've probably been beat down by the sheer mass of pretty in that concentrated area, because Hong Kong is a small city. Mm-hmm. But they are so overwhelmed with competition that the 12s think there's 4s.
Now
and they'll talk to everybody.
you're also the people. You're the guy that said that the women at the Lanny Kai on the beach volleyball team were amazing, and that was an overstatement. Are you really? Is this better than the beach volleyball women at the Lanny Kai?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. And he
They'd
doesn't even
almost
like
have-
Asian
I'm
women.
talking
They'd
about.
almost have
I'm
to
talking
be.
about women that I wouldn't even see in the States.
Wow.
I'm lucky to see them in New York.
Could
I'll
they-
never see in D.C.
And did they all have like exotic British accents?
They
That,
some of them had accents. A
Hello,
lot of,
Mr. Santana. Can I pour you some old
in
rice
Hong
wine?
Kong, most of them speak English, clearly because of the British influence.
That's the way it's different than Manassas. Mike.
But more, I think what I liked was that there was a mix of the cultures, and what comes from I guess an English and Hong Kongese or Chinese woman is just this beautiful mix that is tall and slender, and they don't seem to they're not against plastic surgery, so everyone had fake cans. It was just beautiful.
When everyone saw how tall
Not against plastic surgery.
No, they're in favor of it.
They don't frown upon it.
When everyone saw how tall Todd was, were they surprised he wasn't crashing buildings like Godzilla?
In Hong Kong, there was tall guys and tall girls.
Really? Because of the breeding?
Whatever it was A-OK. And
Oscar Santana says it was A-OK.
And the women keep it tight, and they're just skinny, and they're
I'm
not
looking for
fat.
my little
It's
helium
awesome.
sound effect and helium hides in my machine.
Do you know why? But you know why Oscar is so Oscar? We talked to him briefly about his trip before the show, and Mike and I both had the same leading question. How was the food? He said, we had good food.
Yeah, he's not
That's
a food,
it.
Not a food guy.
He doesn't care.
Hello, Mr. Santana. Can I make you an American submarine sandwich?
I was in the flavor.
As I take your pants off.
I think that one, if you're a white guy, let me make that clear. For a white guy, go there, because if you look Asian, you're kind of Asian. They think you're from Hong Kong, so you're not this like special.
Did they think you were Asian?
I think they were. I blended in kindly and easily.
Pleased to meet you. Oops.
What happened?
Pleased to
I gotta get the right tone.
pleased to meet you, Mr. Moore. I've drawn a bath for you with extra bubbles.
Have you met Todd Moore's houseboy, the Asian Oscar Santana?
I might as well have been. That guy was like Clark Kent, and I worked for Clark Kent.
Oh, you're such a nice boy. I like Mr. Moore and Mr. Santana. You're just so pretty naked.
At what point during the trip did Todd start calling you Kato?
He could have,
But he did it the Peter Sellers way.
Kiddo. I also have to say that the technology over there is just kind of mind blowing.
It's sick.
I also want to thank
It's bazillion.
I want to thank
it's so money.
I want to thank Modev Asia for giving me 15 minutes to talk to the conference, and that went swimmingly.
Did you tell us that on a Thursday show that you were actually going to speak to a conference? How'd that
spoke,
go?
And is this the guy that used to be on House?
No. Modev Asia.
Oh, okay.
No.
I didn't know.
It's the Mobile Developers Conference, but the first one in Asia, where Todd had a presentation. A bunch of different professors and actual business owners and app developers had presentations.
And you did you acquit yourself well?
Yes.
Did you do very well
Full
during
suit.
this?
Good.
The one thing we can do, guys, is put together a nice slideshow and a presentation and
like
talk
that?
on stage.
Good.
You mean
That's good.
as an American?
Yeah.
Or an Asian
No,
American?
I think as DJs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
that
think
we
I'd
can
be
do.
bad at that. I think
Really?
No, I think you'd be good at it.
I'm not good at formal speaking. I'm really not. You give me a script, I can handle it, but I'm not really
well,
good
it's
at
essentially
formal...
scripted.
Right.
You
Oh,
just
it's
follow the
scripted.
slides.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
but
could do
there's a lot more. Like I put together the first slideshow, and Todd looked over my slideshow, and he said, "You got to kill all the text." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Those are my notes, a-hole." And he said, "No, you got to kill the text because when people are looking at your slideshow, you got to give them one word and then talk about it because they're also just reading along with you."
Right.
The main piece of text he had to kill, he kept on every slide it wrote, "I'm not Asian."
So you had it was kind of a methodology that I learned from Todd on how to present.
When I do a slideshow, I invoke the memory of a late great comedian from days gone by. Rob might remember Jackie Vernon.
Oh, yes.
Very
Oh,
great.
very
And he
good.
was
I
the voice of Frosty the Snowman.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
This was my family on the barge. This is my family after we ate shrimp. This is my family after we reacted to the shrimp.
Remember the classic setup? This is my family on day 1 going into the Lincoln Tunnel. This is my family on day 3 coming out of the Lincoln Tunnel.
Just a quick, I guess, programming note. Tech 411, when we talk about this Asia trip, which is going to be recorded tonight and delivered tomorrow.
Right. Yes.
We will talk about in detail the presentations we saw, the experience, the new technology we experienced as well.
What time
We
is
got
it
a chance to
posting? Because I
witness.
want to get it right away.
And so Tech 411 show, check that out. But also,
he's an ass.
That's
That was
why-
his first
that's
real
why
ball
he's one-
bust of
That's why
you.
he's one-dimensional. That's why he is, but he does it very well. So, what I want to do, what I wanted to address, and I didn't get to elaborate on, was when we were in Beijing, and while we had some great experiences, the one bar we went to that had all the, I guess it had a menu of drinks and a menu of women.
Yes.
What I wanted to make clear, and we talked about it before the show, is that when you walk into this place, you think it's a regular bar, and then you realize that there are 30 women huddled around a couch or like a lounge type setting.
Baskin Robbins, 30 flavors.
Yeah, so so what they do is they bring you the women, and you get to pick. And
were they mostly Chinese women, Asian women?
they were Asian, but I felt like there was like a Taiwanese and Filipino influence there.
So you're saying it's kind of like the Mike O'Mara studio?
Yeah, a little bit. You don't know exactly what's going on.
Diversity, that's my name. Yeah, and here I am making fun of Augusta.
That's right.
In my white man's club.
So we have Oscar and we have two Jews.
Okay, you know what? That's pretty good.
Not bad.
We need some female presence
I've
occasionally.
always said
We have
that.
Meg that she comes by.
That's true. She's good.
All right, well, can we wrap this up with you in a second? I want to come back, ask you a few more questions about your China trip. I want to talk to Eric Gronick, find out what's happening with his musical career, and I want to talk about sports, believe it or not.
Sports games?
Yes, we'll take a break and come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show. And also, one little programming note.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll have details on our fabulous new T-shirts. Are we going to be able to tell people where they can get them?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break. Come right back. This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. We love Smart Smoke. You check them out as well. Get your refills, get your new products. Go to Smart Smoke, and they have an ad right on our website. Check them out. If you're a cigar lover, try the Belvedere, which lasts as long as 6 double Coronas. Smart Smoke, same-day shipping, a money-back guarantee. Smart Smoke, the smarter alternative to tobacco, costs about 80% less. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they're here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fat Baby Kim Jong-un T-shirts.
Yay.
Cool. Show your patriotism with these fabulous new T-shirts, and it's very simple. It's a little picture of Kim Jong-un. It's got a little red star in the middle.
Very nice.
This will be going on a black T-shirt, correct?
It can, yeah, or we
can
could
it go
pick
on
a
a white
different
T-shirt?
color.
Well, we might have a color varieties when we order yours.
How
Are we
about
going to
red?
give them?
Red might work well.
Where do they go to order the? Can I see the final thing that we have here? There it is. That's it. And where do they go to order these T-shirts?
Just go to MikeO'MaraShow.com this afternoon and go to our
Oh,
e-store.
hold on. Wait a minute. This afternoon.
Well, I mean, when people are hearing this, it'll be there for them to
It's
go
going
to
to be
our
ready to
website.
go?
Yeah.
It's going to be full speed ahead?
Yeah, I just didn't want to put it up right this moment until we announced it.
Okay, very good. So you can get your Fat Baby T-shirts. It's a great characterization of Kim Jong-un.
And as we said,
there's a little spice to it.
I like
Mark
it.
and I picked two designs yesterday, and that we went with one, and I thought it was good, but it was a little simple.
Yeah.
And then where did you get that design from?
Another listener will tell tomorrow who that listener is. I had so many that I can't remember off the top of my head.
We'll give him full credit tomorrow.
Very good. So we'll get that up and
because
running.
as we said earlier in today's show, Mike O'Mara loves our merchandise.
Yes,
Yes,
I
he
love
does.
it.
And this is another one that you love.
This is just funny.
I love it.
This
It
to
is.
me is taking a potential world crisis and making it ha-ha fun.
I think
fun.
red would work. I just was in communist China, and
yeah,
red seems to be a
maybe
very
we
popular
make them
color.
That's
This is what I was thinking.
red and white.
Yeah.
That's a
And you could wear it to your next hockey game.
It'll.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
See?
Yeah, see them in
Or protest.
All right, so
Whatever
that's
you
good.
want.
So they'll be red, and we're going to have them and order them today. We're excited about them. The Fat
good.
Baby logo
Do
is
it.
in. So you made it safely back. Any world issues crimp your style over there at all?
It's kind of when you first get there, it's a real culture shock just because you don't know how you're going to be received as an American.
Right.
One, and then you also don't know how you're going to get around the city. So once you get there are a couple tips for anybody that decides to go. One, really think about the air. The air, whether it's clear or it's not, it's affecting you because the air and
The pollution.
the pollution. It's even if you're not a smoker. At the end of each day, Todd and I would feel exhausted while we were in Beijing. Hong Kong's just fine, but in Beijing,
It's supposed to be the most polluted city on the earth.
even if you think if they tell you it's a nice clean day, I would wear a mask during the day because when you're done with your day around 4 or 5, say you start your day around 7,
Right.
you feel like it's midnight. And
Just worn out from all that stuff.
We ran into an American diplomat on the way out to Hong Kong, and we asked them why this happened. He said, it's like you're walking around smoking cigarettes all day.
Wow.
So you should go simply to see the Forbidden City and the Great Wall. It's an experience of a lifetime. But wear a mask regardless of how nice and clean they are.
So when you're on the Great Wall and also the Forbidden City, those areas are incredibly polluted as well?
The pollution, even if you think it's clear, the air isn't. It's just not. It's not good to.
Yeah, there'd be no way to really contain it. I imagine
you can't
it would-
really see it. You don't really know. We had. They said it was 4 clear days. You could see the smog in the distance, but you can't see it in front of you.
Right.
So as you're walking around, like, oh, woe is me! What a beautiful day.
So you really feel it.
You feel it. You
There's
feel it
stuff
in
in
your
the
lungs. You're tired. You wake up. You have mucus. It's not a good feeling.
How far is the
That's
Great
what that's
Wall?
known for. It's known for that.
How far is the Great Wall from like downtown
Roughly
Beijing?
2.5 hours.
And you go by
2 hours.
car?
You go.
or-
You take a bus, take a car,
Right.
take a minivan, whatever.
And what I think Mike was asking about too, was there any discussion? Did you overhear any discussion
No.
or any news coverage of what's going on with Korea or
Yes.
about the bird flu?
They're all nervous about it. The government doesn't like hyping up the bird flu because it's not good
Of
for
course.
their industry
Right.
or tourism. The North Korean situation, nobody likes it because it really established the balance that's there in Asia.
Right.
Doesn't help that trade. Doesn't
Right.
help
Mhm.
anyone.
Right.
Especially property
for
values, and if it affects business, this is what you should know. That culture and Hong Kong is separate. It's separate from China, by the way. It's Hong Kong. But China and that entire culture is built around business.
Yes.
Their superstitions, their family, everything that's built around business. And what we should know as Americans is, while you may want to hate the 6-day work weeks, and you may look at how they treat their workers, or how long they work, or what they pay them, or even their policies and communism,
Pollution.
you can continue hating on all of that. But the reality is, it's going to take ingenuity, time, and education on our end, even more so than what we're doing today. So look at your children, if you have them, to really fight this superpower and compete with them on a level that we want to compete with them on,
Because the work ethic.
yeah, they're not BSing. They're not playing games. They are so into, and these are my thoughts.
They're getting it done.
And
This is a little jet lagged.
and maybe a little bit of
Thanks
Todd.
for the pep talk,
And maybe a
by
little
the
bit.
way.
No, and maybe a little bit of Todd's as well. We sat there. He said they're willing to even forego their environment, the way they breathe the air,
Good for them.
to compete.
Yeah.
Well, they're also responsible for a lot of bad things in the world. That has to be
I
pointed
agree.
out as
Yeah,
well.
and if you've ever had bad Chinese food.
You probably, as a
What?
tourist, did not see a lot of what goes on.
Oh, the human rights issues?
Over
No.
the human
Of course
rights
you don't,
issues.
You don't see that.
Right.
Well, what you do see is this isn't a land of. I remember I used to think of China and Beijing overall. Hong Kong's a different animal. It's been progressive, and it's basically you're kind of in the States.
Yes.
With a lot more culture. But you're in red China, and there are parts that look like the old videos that you would see like outside neighborhoods, but
Right.
within the city limits, not even just around the Olympic Village, even the touristy areas, all you see is industry, and it could be an American city if you take away everything else.
Right.
So as far as progress,
It's like Pittsburgh with short people.
and how far along they've come, it's there.
Right.
They're not on bicycles.
Yeah.
They're driving Lexuses and Audis, and they're paying double because it's 100% tax, and they're doing all what we're doing over here.
And they're all about the world trade.
Yeah.
That's except for their government.
Yeah, but the culture,
Which does more really to affect their world trade than anything
Yeah.
else. The fact that it's a communist country, it's a totalitarian
walking
state.
into the Forbidden City or walking on that wall,
And what is the Forbidden City?
it's where the emperor used to
Manassas.
live.
okay.
And it was the
it's not
Forbidden
Manassas.
City because only a certain number of people could be in and around the emperor of China.
That
and so
must
it was
be-
a city within a city,
Yeah.
and in many cases, the emperor never came out of the Forbidden City
Like the
to
Vatican.
the rest of the peasants in the. No, it's not like the Vatican, but
Very
way to
good
get
for
a
the Pope,
Catholic
the
thing
Pope
in there.
comes out.
It's
But
very, very much.
It's a city within a city.
Yes,
I'm
like
guessing
the Vatican
the,
City.
the restaurant that I like so bad is named after that. It's called the Forbidden City, and they
Forbidden
have
City.
Chinese food there, and so it must
Right,
be named
right in
after-
Leesburg, Virginia.
I so wish we don't have time to get to you today, but I swear to God, if we had time to get to you, we'll get to you. And it's like it's a tale.
Can't wait.
It's a tale of two individuals.
We'll
it's
get
like
to you.
you with China and experiencing all this, and we got Home Depot boy
Yeah.
over here, whose big part of his weekend was he made not one but 2 trips.
It always
And
takes
I,
two.
I go right to my notes there, so we got to talk about that.
It's not so much that, Mike, as me versus the rototiller.
The overall trip, a great trip. I'm happy to be back in the States. This is
How does the air taste?
This is when I got off the plane.
So pollution that we would think, like, say, in L.A.
Yeah.
or New York City or in
I've
areas
experienced
that
that pollution. It's nothing compared to what we.
Wow.
And the problem is, and this is the way I look at it. I mean, it's the planet as well. And
Yeah.
China, one of the great violators of the air and air quality
affecting our
around the
weather.
world.
Absolutely.
Was so happy to wake up this morning and not feel like I've just gone 10 rounds.
I'll bet.
Right.
With was it a smoke machine?
Todd posted, or you posted, I forgot, some sort of gas mask that they had. Was that a pollution gas mask?
No. So within the hotel, I guess in the States, and this is where you really know you're in a different place and a different culture, where we would get some like mints on the pillow,
Right.
or like a dental set to take with us, or
Right.
just in case something happens. You get a new robe that you could wear.
Mm-hmm.
They plan for the extreme where you get a like a weapons of mass destruction mask.
Oh, so this is in your hotel?
Yes.
Oh.
So there was two of them, one for each of us, because there were two people that were staying.
Who do they think's going to attack them?
It's in a nice velvet crown. It looks like a crown bag.
Really, one of those
Crown Royale bag,
like a purple velvet.
Yeah, so it
bag.
looks like it's good times. You got free slippers, free swag, and then inside
or a
it's,
felt bag.
it looks like it's a mask in case
It's a gas mask.
It's a nuclear fallout mask.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is the level of paranoia
They're prepared.
that exists in the. They're prepared. Stop revering them so much, okay? They're
I'm not
they're
revering
a commie
them.
country that like oppresses their own people.
If you keep thinking that way, you won't look at them as a real economical threat. Take away the communism.
I know that they're a threat. I know you've got a workforce that can be abused at will, and they are focused on the yes. At the same time, that to me, having a gas mask, a nuclear fallout gas mask put on your pillow would indicate there's an example of their out of touchness.
I don't
in
know, Mike.
China.
It was in a purple bag.
That's where they're a little squirrely.
Yeah, but you've got
which they are, just like when they roll their people, over with tanks.
You've got Kim Jong-il up the road.
Yeah, he's not going to put a warhead into China. I'm talking.
No, he won't be able to get through the air.
My question about the military: do you see a lot of military presence? Because that's my preconceived notion of China is that there is a military presence everywhere.
Soldiers goose-stepping in Red Square.
It's nothing more than what we see in the States.
Well,
Really.
that's did you see like military parades or what?
No. We weren't there for any of that.
Did you get to Red Square at all?
Yeah, we were there. We were in Tiananmen
So you
Square.
have a few guards, and that's about it.
You see what the same. You see the same kind of what we would see.
If you went downtown.
Yeah, if we went downtown and you
military presence, you'd see the Secret Service, see people guarding the buildings. and
but
stuff
nothing
like
like oppressive.
Wow,
Nothing. That's why I was guys. I'm not. I don't want to move to China for God's sake.
But you understand the nuclear fallout mask. I know you're back from China and you loved your experience over there, but that's a little over the top.
I know, but what I'm saying is this: is I'm shocked that there wasn't more of that military presence.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that there wasn't more oppressive, an oppressive feeling outside of not having Facebook.
Oscar Santana is a traitor to the United States.
No, I'm actually
Benedict Zebayos.
You admire the people.
No, I don't admire it. I'm kind of scared by that industry.
Yeah, that they're so focused on
And they're
it.
so forward. I
Yes.
thought they were like kind of at least 10 years back, that they still be listening to like 90s
Within the
records.
cities, apparently they are they're very technologically
Oscar's he's
compatible.
He has changed his entire outlook based on the fact he saw people driving a Lexus.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I agree with you on certain points. Meanwhile, we're over here going, "Hey, look at how big Kim Kardashian's ass is."
Exactly.
And
you say
meanwhile,
that
they're over there.
We should have a mask for that.
You feel they're poised to overtake us technologically and in business.
I don't. Well, one, I think that if we don't say this, it wouldn't be fair that they have no problem with just stealing intellectual property.
Well, we know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
they
true.
have no. So they're not necessarily making things or developing things. We do that.
Good at stealing.
But when they steal it, they steal it.
They do, and they steal it right.
If they don't steal it right,
And make
it's
it
just
cheaper.
It's so. It was kind of for me. It was culture shock in two ways. One, I'd never been to Asia in general,
Right.
And then two, I thought they were going to be
Backwards.
at least 5 to 7 years backwards,
And they're not.
They're not.
And what they don't know, they steal.
Yes.
And to catch up.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's scary.
I agree with you
It's a
completely.
warning.
We
Oscar's warning
we
us.
should be scared.
Yeah.
We
And
really
if we're
should.
not behind us, they're really going to be ahead of us now because he did a talk and he let go all
He
his
actually
details.
helped them.
Now they're going to have podcasts.
I was in Hong Kong.
Did you
for
ever
God's
feel
sake.
that?
they'll find out.
Last question. Did you ever feel at any time that you were being watched or that you were being observed?
Yes, by
I mean,
Todd.
By the way, a great travel partner. Couldn't ask for a better guy to go around the world with.
Oscar, are you awake? I'm awake. Come to my bed. Oscar.
None of that.
Oscar.
None of that.
I'm wearing the gas mask.
and nothing else.
All right. So
6-day work weeks over there.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
something we ought to do on this show. We
6-day
couldn't
work
even
weeks.
meet. We couldn't even make 5 last week.
We got very close.
We
very
did.
close. Very close.
I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Well, welcome
you.
back.
Go to Hong Kong. Go to Hong Kong.
You're like the little soldier that human rights abuses. Screw it. They're ahead of me. I like that. That's good. Now let's go to a kinder, gentler man, a man of music, shall we?
A man of
And,
the arts.
We welcome from Black Gold, Eric Ronick, the more talented Ronick brother, who is here visiting us from New York City, I believe.
Yes, that's right, Brooklyn.
You're still in Brooklyn?
Yes, I am.
And
yes, I am. I love it.
You love Brooklyn.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Most
do.
people that live in Brooklyn, they do love Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real energy going on there that's like not happening, in the rest of the country.
Creative
it's exciting.
energy,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Really?
And sort of a rebound in
Absolutely.
the past 10 years, right? Culturally?
Yeah, I would say 10 years, maybe 15 almost at this point. Yeah.
And
It's coming to life there.
a lot of these stories of China, they make you think of your drummer.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
You just can't ever let that go.
No.
You can't let
He's
that go.
Vietnamese, but
Well,
Same difference.
I think we all know.
All right, so let me ask you. So, Black Gold, you're not with Black Gold at this point in time. You've got your own thing. What are you doing musically?
No. We're actually finishing up the Black Gold album.
Okay,
I think
so you're still doing a
that's
Black Gold
right,
album.
That's right.
This will
We
be the
are-
second LP?
This would be the second LP.
Yay.
We've finished the EP, and that's slated for release very soon. Next few months, I would say at the most. And then the album is going to be finished in 4 to 6 weeks. I think we should have it
Whoa,
done.
so you're
yeah.
right at the finish line.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking
we're
forward to
finally
that.
at the finish line. It's been a long road, but we're there.
So, enlighten me as to the way of modern musicians and how you get it done. Because my thought was, you get a label deal, or you do your own label, or you get it out there, and then you just go out to beat up the bars for 12 months to get the music heard. Is it similar to that now, or is it social networking? How do we how do you get it out there?
It's changing fast. I think it's changing so fast that the industry hasn't really caught up with itself yet. I mean, I think, to be honest, nobody really knows how to make money in the music business right now. But
Even if you're big, if you're huge, you can have people that are a little more in the know, and with piracy and all that other stuff, you can really not make it. You got to get associated with things like when you were associated with the television show. That's a great thing to do.
Yeah, that's kind of how it has to happen now. It's funny. You have to just sort of write off record sales as an income stream and just think about other things.
Yeah, one way they make a lot of money now is to license your music out to different companies. For example, one of their biggest windfalls was when a company in Germany, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Germany.
Bought
detergent.
the rights to the song Shine for a laundry detergent.
Right.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Germany. Yeah, I know, right?
And and also a lot of artists do that that have been around for a long time, right? They go overseas so that they won't, because everybody that overused
Don't want to
term,
be the sellout
and stuff, but they'll do it just like actors.
Oh
A-list
my God.
actors will
In
go
Asia?
over to in Asia.
Oh
Right?
yeah, I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. There was a billboard as tall as a building. I just stared at it like a little kid looking at a piece of candy.
Yeah. But these days, musicians aren't so uptight about it. I mean, because it's sort of the only way to do it. So now, whereas when I was a teenager, it was really frowned upon to even consider any commercial usage for your music. But now everybody's looking for it. Absolutely, every musician, no matter what your status is.
How is touring for an income stream? When you cook up and you go out and you do clubs and stuff, is that good money? Or?
Not at the club level. Touring is a sort of a losing venture until you cross a line and you start headlining, over 1,000-seat venues.
Really? That's the turning point?
That's sort of the turning point.
Because you got to travel.
Yeah.
That's right. The cost is huge, and like you were asking, it's hard to justify the cost these days when you're balancing it against what your profits are going to be for touring. So people look for other ways to promote. Online,
Is there a
like
big
you were saying.
is there a coagulation of musicians in your area? I'm sure there are anywhere in New York, but Brooklyn particularly. You have a lot of clubs places that you guys play down in that area.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pretty good music scene in Brooklyn.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the only problem in New York for the scene is that it's sort of every man for himself. There's no community going on there. You come to DC. DC has a really strong community of musicians helping each other out and working together to try to get somewhere. Whereas in New York, it's just get out of my way because
where do you see yourself? Where do you see Black Gold? In say a year's time. What's the game plan?
Well, the game plan is to release this record and to see where it leads
And to get another shine.
That's right.
It's so hard to find record labels now to give you a shot. And I've actually been talking to Eric this weekend that I think they should just go ahead and put out their stuff on their own, publish their own stuff, and get the word out. Mike, like you were asking, with social networking.
He's got a home here to do that if he wants to do it. We'll
Yes,
help.
that's
We'll help in
true,
any way we
too.
can.
Hey, how about
That's great.
TMOS Records?
There we go.
That might be a logical next step.
We're going,
for
to
us.
need,
sign.
we're going to need cocaine.
when we do that, if we do that, what I would like to do, I will use Clive Davis's impression.
Always,
Yeah,
always.
That'd be
please.
great.
Eric Ronick is an incredibly talented individual, and this is the greatest music. I don't believe since Whitney, I've heard a guy.
You've what?
I've heard.
Well, obviously, we're going to hear it when you release that, in
Yeah,
any way
absolutely.
you decide to do that. Can people, if they're coming to New York, can they hear you perform live? Or
Absolutely,
somewhere?
but I think probably. Well, right now our drummer's in Vietnam visiting his family, but so give us a few weeks. Yeah, but
Are you sure he is, or is that just a cover story?
it could be a cover. I'm not, I'm not tracking him.
If people are wondering why we didn't do a show on Friday, I was in Vietnam visiting my family.
That's right.
And having a suit made.
I was in Vietnam
Yes.
visiting Ton Lu's family.
Now, are you doing any more work with Panic at the Disco?
I've talked to them about it. I haven't worked with them in a few years, but I just recently was kind of chatting about maybe helping out. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh, that's excellent, too.
Yeah.
And what do you think of your brother?
No.
Oh, it's awful. It's just terrible.
I know, right?
That's a perfect way to end an interview right there. I like that a lot. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I have to wait for
You
that
have to
post.
wait for that,
You just
yeah.
do not jump the gun on that
No.
one. This segment of our program is brought to you by ScoreBig.com. Taking your family to a game or any event can be really expensive, especially if you're paying too much for tickets. Imagine getting great seats at up to 60% below the box office price. I'll be honest with you. You hear about a lot of sports now that maybe it's recession related, but it was 10 years ago that it was the NBA, MLB, the Final Four, everything. Everything was sold out.
Right.
Not the case anymore.
True.
No, well, the problem is a lot of hockey games, the bathrooms are a disaster.
It's terrible.
Don't go in there.
You can take advantage of this at a website like ScoreBig.com. That's your first stop, whatever you want to see. ScoreBig.com. Below box office prices are guaranteed. Imagine getting $30 off your first order. You do that when you use our code TMOS. That's great seats, below box office prices, and an extra $30 off with your first order. No extra fees ever. No need to go anywhere but ScoreBig.com. And don't forget to enter our code TMOS. Let's open it up for today, Monday, tax day. Hey, listen, we got coffee and donuts in the lobby for all of you, and some aspirins if you're having some trouble with those taxes.
Are we going to have one of our interns down at the post office until the stroke of midnight tonight handing out Addison for your tax kit?
You know what? Here's a nice exercise. Watch your local news tonight at 11.
Yes.
Turn it on, and the first time they have that interview with that person that's filing before midnight, just look at the TV and go, F you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's easy.
Now, listen, I don't care if you're late. I've filed extensions my whole life.
Oh,
I
sure.
have constantly done that. I don't care. It's the people that want to be on TV that are in the line an hour before
12
at the post office.
I'm a procrastinator.
Those are the people that piss
I
me
just
off.
I don't know. I just couldn't get it done.
And I would like to say to Andrew Harold, my accountant,
Yes.
for the first time since 1963,
Yes.
you have filed my taxes on time. Yes.
Hallelujah.
He's a wizard.
Way to go, Andrew.
The man is a numeric wizard.
Yeah, anyway,
we're running
happy
a
tax day.
trifle late, so I'm going to pass on our Jack Cassidy entry for today, but we're still accepting them.
Okay.
Buy a Jack Cassidy t-shirt, go to an exotic location, say, I'm Jack Cassidy, impress us, win the prize.
Contest ends Liberty 13.
Mike said, were you saddened by the passing of Jonathan Winters?
I
That
was.
that hit me
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
I wrote about it on my Facebook page.
And he was really the beginning of a whole new era of comedy, but he has a great part in one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a mad world.
It's hysterical.
And that I didn't know this until I was reading his obit. That's his first job after his mental breakdown.
Oh, really?
So if he hadn't taken that movie, he might not have been on the radar still. But this line really is important for today, Mike.
Everybody has to pay taxes. Even businessmen that rob and steal and cheat from people every day. Even they have to pay taxes.
That's right. That's him as Lenny Pike.
That's funny.
And also this, I love
great.
this, a classic old stand-up. I think this is from the Jack Parr Show.
Did you ever undress in front of a dog? You think about that for a minute. I don't know. People, it's funny. A bird somehow doesn't count, right? Or a cat. But a dog, They really stare.
And also,
so simple but so great.
funny.
It's like great food.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you got the simple premise, that's
Right.
all you need.
I
If you,
love
if
this
you
guy.
come up with it, you're all set.
watched a lot of YouTube of him this weekend, and he did such great work on the Dean Martin show because he just show up and Dean Martin would laugh.
Right.
And here he is as
It was, and here's the thing. Jonathan Winters was great at improv. He really was
the best,
Yes.
baby.
He was, but I believe that he gets so much credit for you just give him a stick and he can go for
Right.
crowds. No, it was his face.
Yeah, he
Yes.
used it right.
His voices were amazing, but his face, Jonathan Winters is one of those guys, unlike great comedians like a George Carlin.
Right.
You looked at Jonathan Winters and you'd start to laugh. He
was,
had
yeah.
a wonderfully
That's true.
comedic
Warm,
face.
engaging. Here
Right.
he is as probably his most famous character, Maude Frickert.
Yeah.
And this is him with
Stolen by Frank, by Charlie, no, who was it? Charlie and Harrigan, not Charlie and Harrigan, Hardin and Weaver.
Hardin and Weaver.
Jackson Weaver.
Yeah, he did steal
Sorry
his-
it took me so long to pull that, but it was Jackson Weaver that did a similar.
Local
Yeah, he
character.
did.
Yeah.
But here he is with Dean Martin, and at one point, a very buxom model comes out.
Hey, Dinsey, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Well, what's your pleasure?
Well, if I told you that, we'd be off the air. Oh, my dress is caught on this funky little stool. I thought maybe it'd help me, Deanie.
No, I never touch old ladies.
Oh,
you know.
really?
Actually, it's the station break announcement time. We'd better read it, huh?
Yes.
You,
yes.
card person.
Here I am, Mr. Martin.
Isn't she graceful?
Not particularly. When she walks, it looks like she's got two kids fighting under a blanket.
So safe home, Jonathan
Sweater
Winters.
kittens.
Long life, but so much great comedy.
Funny,
from him.
brilliant man.
Now, speaking of brilliant men, here's a clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's on a talk show in Australia, and he really comes out as Arnold. And I know you do like 3 Arnolds.
Yeah.
You do the cocky Arnold.
I do the standard Arnold, I do the cocky Arnold.
And the stupid
and
Arnold.
the really stupid Arnold.
Great question. This Australian host asked him what his favorite lines were from his movies, and this is just like a little look inside Arnold's head.
What is your favorite line in all of your movies to deliver?
I think there's several. I think "Get to the Chopper" is one of them that is that I have to repeat a lot of times. "I'll be back," or when I in Predator, stuck the guy with a knife through the chest, and they say, "Stick around."
Yeah.
So there's things like that.
Yes.
Get to the chopper.
I think of all the great lines.
Another brilliant mind.
I think that get to the chopper was the line I had. Stick around.
What about the passing of Jonathan Winters?
Who?
Also, like,
Exactly.
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, exactly. If it bleeds, you can kill it. Yeah.
You got any more you want
Get down. Yeah.
Is that guy just doing Arnold?
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
There's nothing more fun than doing Arnold if you do impressions. That's
With
what it is.
Arnold.
He's
Get
a good
down.
one. Get down. And he also, I think he has a very funny a recollection about one of the things about Sharon Stone here.
Consider this a divorce.
Yeah.
Remember in Total Recall?
Oh, yeah.
When they shot Sharon Stone through the head.
Thank you, Arnold.
I thought Total Recall is my favorite Arnold movie. I think.
Is it really?
No, Predator's my favorite Arnold movie.
I liked True Lies.
True
Yes,
Lies.
that's
I
my
like True
favorite.
Lies. I thought that was
and
probably
Kindergarten
the
Cop.
best. Also good.
Classic.
Twins.
Classic.
Not great. Have you ever gone to Google Translate, Mike?
No.
And you can go in, you can type in anything in one language, it puts it in another language. And I found this week, based on a listener's tip, there's a speaker that will actually pronounce it for you. Yeah. So if you go in and just for random sake say, type in a lot of consonants with no order and translate it from English to Dutch and play it back, I had a lot of fun with this.
PVZK, 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 KZZK, PVZK, PVZK, PZK, PZK, PVZK, PKZ,
That's nonsense.
Normal people might type in something, they
Actual
can, a
words.
normal phrase.
But it's not as funny as
Rob just liked.
Isn't that nice?
That's funny.
And you
What's
know
wrong
what?
with you?
And you know
What's wrong
what?
with you?
now we're really catering to our Dutch listeners.
I'm sitting there going to bust his balls. No, because he did the funnier thing for the show. If you'd done a regular... I picture you just sitting there with your kids, unhinging your jaw. There's unhinging jaw. Sorry.
And guess what? Guess who has a new record out?
Who's that?
Psy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the follow-up to Gangnam Style.
I heard this.
It sounds just the same.
I bet this is good.
It's called Gentleman. Why can't you make music like this, Eric?
I've been trying my whole life.
It's so sad when, he's trying.
Yeah.
He just...
Here's the hook.
But
Exactly
in the
the same.
video, he's
That's-
not a gentleman at all. All he's doing is he's farting in women's faces.
Yeah, it's not
and,
good.
And pranking women all throughout the whole video.
Is the video good?
The video isn't that great, but I'll say, if, for example, he's had over 1 billion views on YouTube.
Right.
This new video, I think, came out 2 or 3 days ago. He's had over 50 million views.
Meanwhile,
already.
the Chinese are making stuff.
Stealing and making.
So he may be, it won't be as big a hit as Gangnam Style, but over 50 million views, people would kill for that. Right
Eric,
now.
do you ever get because I have these weird thoughts once in a while. I really do. As far as, we live in the land of the internet, and I said, I've got to do something just ridiculous that might get this show noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel the
Go over the top?
the pull to do something silly, novelty BS at all?
We were talking about something earlier.
What were we talking? Oh.
I don't know how much he wants to reveal of it.
I bet it involves poop.
Keep it in your pants.
You know
You're
what?
exactly right.
I'm comfortable with you guys keeping it in your pants.
do
And
it.
let's talk after the show. Let's be a big part of that.
I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay,
All right,
very good.
2 quick clips I want to close with, Mike. Did you see the new Kmart commercial?
I don't think so.
Kmart is now, if you can't find it in their stores, they'll ship it to you.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you can shop online. You can use their catalog. So anything you want at Kmart now, Mike, you can have it shipped.
Ship my pants. Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding. You can ship your pants right here. You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed. If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Great ad.
And
on the web and on TV.
That's not a goof. That's
I-
a
No, it's a real ad.
Yeah, that's
Real
my
ad.
first
Real
question.
ad. Real
Legitimate
ad.
TV.
Real
Real
ad.
TV ad. And
On
Mike,
the web and on TV.
is your magic audio vault.
Wow, good job.
Really? Legitimate?
Legitimate.
For Kmart.
Good for Kmart. We'll take a break. Come back with Buzz and News right after this. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Mark Ronick, how do people get involved with this show and get their brand new Fat Baby Kim Jong-un t-shirts, which over 300 of you said you wanted on Thursday, and we put them into production. How do we do it?
All you got to do, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com, go to the e-store, and you'll find it from there.
Very good.
Some may say Mike shipped his pants on Thursday night.
That's true.
But I didn't.
No.
It was only air. Let's open up the...
It was only air, but Mike, you know what? That's air not even Beijing wants.
It scared people.
It scared people. Indeed it did. Buzz
That's
Burbank,
some bad air.
take it away.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Now you can save up to 75% on select watches, shoes, and everything from wireless routers to SAT prep tests. It's that time of year. Save up to 70% on books, headphones, and jewelry, 60% on musical instruments and home theater gear, and up to 50% off on clothing and outdoor gear. Know somebody who's having a baby? 30% off on baby stuff. I do. And cell phones and computers.
Who?
Save your money.
Oh, okay.
Save your money and support your show. Click and bookmark the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we thank you.
Mr. O'Mara, you're with child.
Yes, I am. I was feeling the baby jumping around last night.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was big fun. Mucho kicking. The baby is decidedly nocturnal, don't you know?
Like 3 babies under a blanket.
Like his old man.
Amen. Yeah, I'm not like I used to be. Yeah, I might go out on Thursday night, but no. And mostly I was to bed by 10 o'clock last night.
Good boy.
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Earlier this year, NASCAR driver Michael Waltrip ran a car at the Daytona 500 to benefit the families of the children gunned down in Newtown, Connecticut. That was more than the National Rifle Association could stand, so the NRA announced it would be sponsoring its own 500 race in Texas. That race took place on Saturday night, and despite protest from a Connecticut senator, Fox carried the race. Now, ironically, Texas law prohibits firearms at the racetrack, even when it's sponsored by the gun lobby. But during that race, a 42-year-old man shot himself in the head and died in the infield. NASCAR was already saying on Friday it would take a closer look at potential race sponsors in the future. That may have been in the NRA's last NASCAR race.
Wow. When did this happen?
Saturday night.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of coverage of it since it was the NRA 500.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And Fox took some crap for carrying it.
A guy blew himself away?
Yeah, killed himself. It was a dispute with other campers in the infield, and standing next to his pickup truck, he got out a gun and shot himself in the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how he got the gun.
That's no way to win an argument.
I'm going to dig on that one. That is just
Is this in
stunning.
Connecticut?
No, this took place
Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
So they could, we get a carry permit.
Isn't it ironic?
Exactly.
Don't you think?
A police chief in New Hampshire.
Get it ironic?
Never heard that before.
Right, okay.
A police chief in New Hampshire is facing charges after a teenager used the police chief's gun to commit suicide. The Danville police chief now faces charges of negligent storage of firearms, which carries a $1,000 fine. 2 people were wounded at a gun show in Idaho Saturday when a customer accidentally fired a large caliber handgun. The shrapnel hit another customer in the eye and another in the arm. A pawn shop in Nevada plans to auction the gun owned by that renegade Los Angeles cop who went on the killing spree. The gun comes with the surveillance video of its purchase by the late Christopher Dorner. The owner of the pawn shop says the money will go to the victims' families.
Well, if he's giving it to the victims' families, there'll be some twisted hump that'll buy it.
That was Chumley's idea.
Chumley?
Yeah, from Pawn Stars.
2 women were wounded at a community college in Virginia on Friday. Police have the alleged shooter in custody. No one died, but the campus of that college is located inside a mall there in Christiansburg, Virginia. And over the weekend, graffiti appeared at Temple University warning of violence on the upcoming anniversary of the massacre at Columbine on April 20th. Security's been stepped up, and that now includes the FBI's involvement. The Senate takes up that background check proposal this week. The debate could drag on for a month, and even then, it's even money whether it'll pass. Those against the bill say it steps on Second Amendment rights, even though it actually, perhaps you haven't heard this, expands the rights of gun owners. It makes it easier to move weapons across state lines.
What do you think? Do you think, your crystal ball, nobody's coming out with a lot of predictions on this.
No, it's too close.
It'll have a tough time in the House. So it is going to have a tough time in the House? There's a chance?
I think it has a slimmer chance in the House. It's going to be in the Senate for a month. Mm-hmm. It's going to be debated there, and it's going to have a tough time. It's going to be a very close vote in the Senate.
So does that mean if it's close in the Senate, does that mean it's absolutely no chance in the House?
Probably.
All right.
All I know is that Chuck Todd on NBC refused to issue a prediction.
That's right. I thought that was strange.
I mean, he said there's, immigration, something's going to happen, but the gun control, no one knows. It's anybody's guess.
Happy Monday, Willie Geist.
What you might not know about this background checks bill, right, is that it makes it easier to move weapons across state lines. It protects gun sellers from lawsuits if a legally purchased gun is used later in a crime, and it lets gun sellers sell in states outside of their own. So it actually opens up new gun rights, even as it requires more background checks.
I mean, and if they're going to do more thorough background checks, I'm actually not averse to a lot of that stuff.
Sure.
Why not?
Right. Well,
take your guns that you sell, and that's how you make your living. Take them to your little gun show. Mm-hmm. But, when you're going to get some moon unit that comes in, you want to check and see if he's an idiot.
You mean like a wingnut, Mike?
A wingnut or an asshat.
You don't want that.
Exactly. It is a bipartisan bill, and it is a compromise bill, so it has a little something for everybody, I guess.
So the vocal minority will shout it down.
Of course.
Always. The NRA continues to be out of touch even with its own members. 74% of NRA members favor increased background checks. The NRA is also out of touch with other gun rights groups, including the Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, which now also favors new background check laws. The other hot issue before Congress this week is immigration, and although it includes a path to citizenship, it's an expensive path, about $2,000 per immigrant that immigrants would have to pay to become members of this country.
I think we should chip in and let Oscar join us.
They'd pay it.
That includes.
You think they will?
The fine and the application.
I can't get more than $1 a shirt in my yard sale.
No, let me give you an example. If you want to be,
they're saving money to be citizens.
If you've got the chance to be naturalized and you're already here on a green card or something along those lines, it already costs like $5,000-$6,000 in lawyers.
Finally,
get her done.
Roaming flocks of ducks are nothing new to Miami Springs, thank you, Florida, but they've been especially aggressive this year. Those ducks attacking people who have no beef with ducks. Rosie Buckner says she was attacked suddenly and without warning while walking along a bike path. Quoting her, "It was a vicious duck that came after us from across the street. I fought the duck off, but not before I was bitten by it." But ducks are pets to some people, including a man who tried to sneak one into a courtroom in Honolulu last week. Officials say people have tried to sneak in dogs before, but never a pet duck. The man's duck was confiscated, along with both of his bottles of beer.
There we are.
I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Hey, Eric Gronick, if anybody wants to find out about Black Gold or any of your music, where do they go?
blackgoldmusic.com, and you can hear some of our newest music there and only there.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate that. Welcome back from China.
Shay.
Tomorrow on the show, halogen light bulbs.
Yes.
Can they kill you or not?
Yeah, they can.
Because if they can, I'm going to die. That's the way I look at it. Seriously, I'm scared about this.
You got
I'm
some
afeared.
glass in your hair.
Huh?
You have some glass in your hair.
You laugh until I'm like those pictures.
Yeah, but you know what? But when you do look like that, I will stop laughing, and I promise
Do
you.
I smell deadly xenon gas?
Is that what kills you?
I don't know.
See,
We'll
we got to do that on tomorrow's show.
Smells like Beijing.
Also on tomorrow's
like
show, something I can't do and I don't want to do, but I'm going to have to do. And Rob Spiewak at his crazy weekend.
You're a jerk.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.